Okay, here we go. We are in rates, tables, graphs. This is 7-1. I would like you to be thinking about how all of this works together. And remember, we are talking about, I'm sorry, as I'm looking around for things here. We're talking about using ratios and how to graph them. And remember, when we start talking about that, that in this box, and you see this here, this is a graph, and we will explore more about that. But anytime you put something onto a graph, you are plotting. You are plotting the graph, okay? It just simply means to put something onto it. So in number 1, it says the ratio of oxygen atoms to sulfur atoms in the sulfur dioxide is always the same. The table shows you the number of atoms in different quantities. Complete your table. So this goes back to Explore Activity 1. I hope you've looked at that, and it may be that you have some questions. But we have to find the ratio. Just like we have in the past, we have to find our ratios. And in Explore Activity 1, it kind of tells you how to find those when you have these different types of numbers. Finding ratios from tables, looking at the book, it has the ammonia and the distilled water. And so we had to find those numbers, okay? So in this particular case, we are looking to find the numbers that would go into this box, okay? So we have 6, 9, 21, and we would have to find a number that goes in between. Our next one is 9, so our next number here would be 18, okay? And 21, our next number would be 42. And then 54, it would be 27, okay? So those are our equivalent ratios, okay? So what are they? We have 12 over 6, okay? We have 18 over 9. We have 42 over 21. And we have 54 over 27. Those are our equivalent ratios. So then, number 2 says, use the table in exercise 1 to graph the relationship between sulfur atoms and oxygen atoms. Now, when you're looking at a graph, remember where your y and your x-axis are on a graph, because we are plotting. So we have an x on the horizontal, and we have a y on the vertical, okay? And in this particular case, it asks you for the oxygen. See right here, oxygen, and this is your sulfur. So your first number will be your sulfur atoms, okay? The sulfur atoms. And it says the 6, so we have to find the 6 and the 12. So here's the 6 and here's the 12. So here is where I'm making my first mark, okay? And then my next one is 18 to 24, or 18 to 9. That was 6 to 12, so now I need 9, which would be probably right about here. And we're going up to 18 about here. Might be a little bit too high, but that's approximate, okay? So then our next one is 42, all right, and 21. Well, here's 24, there's 20, so we'll go right here in the middle. And we got to go up to 42. And we know that's 48, so right about there, okay? Next one is 54.27. So we'll go in between the 24 and the 30, and we'll go up to the 54, about where we think it would be, probably right about there. Okay? So now when you look at this, what did I plot? What did I plot? Well, I plotted a line that went up. Our line went up and would continue to go up if we had a higher in ratio. Okay? Does that, I hope that makes some sense to you. Okay, so now next thing it says is stickers are made with the same ratio of width to length. The stickers are 2 inches wide and have a length of 4 inches. So let's get rid of these real quick so that we have, well, we don't need to get rid of that. We need to get rid of this so it's not, yeah, then we can see. You can always go back and back this up if you need to find those numbers and try to, and if you have any questions, give me a holler. Stickers are made of this with the same ratio of width to length. A sticker 2 inches wide has a length of 4 inches. Complete the table. So if it's the same, then it's 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8, and 7 times 2 is 14, and 6 divide would be 8. Okay? So those are our numbers. What are the equivalent ratios shown? We have 2 over 4. We have 4 over 8. We have 7 over 14. And we have 8 over 16. Okay? And those are our equivalent ratios. So we're going to do the same thing. We have to plot it. All right? We want to plot this. I'm going to move, I want to move this so you can see this better. There we go. The recording's over in the corner. So our first one, what does it say? It is 2 to 4. And so it says width, find your width. There's width right here, to length. Okay? So width to length. So our first one is 2 to 4. So there's our 2. We're going to go up to the 4. Right there. Okay. Our next one is 4 to 8. There's our next one right here. What's our next one? 7 to 14. So right in the middle and right in the middle. So up, 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 up right there. Okay. And our last one is 8 to 16. So there's our 8, and we're going to go up to the 16 right there. Okay? I've had some kids use a ruler. They find it easier to stay on your grid lines that direction, that way. Some people can do it just by looking. It's kind of up to you how you end up doing this. All right. Remember what we just did? We just plotted a line. And what is our trend? Our trend line is going up. Okay. So we can see that line is going up. All right. Let's look at our next one. Our next one is 5 boxes of candles. We'll erase these. Okay. 5 boxes of candles contain a total of 60 candles. Okay. And we're going to complete the table and graph the relationship. So graph simply means to plot or to put your numbers in on your graph itself. And so this one is boxes are the horizontal number, and candles are the vertical. All right. So what's our first one? If we have 60, 5 boxes contain 60, what would our first number be? Well, our first number, because it's a box of 60 candles, would be 60. Okay. Our next number, what would our next one be? We have to find the, we have to sit down and we have to find that ratio between 8 and whatever this number is going to be. This number is 90. Okay, 90? No. Let me think about that a second. It's not going to be 90. I have to redo that one. 96. There we go. 96. So what does that make this top number? Well, the top number then is 10. Okay. There we go. Now we have to plot it. We're going to plot these, and the first one is the box. Okay. So you got 5. So you have 2, 4, 5, and we're going up to 60. Well, there's 48, and then it goes clear up to 72. So I would say it's probably going to be right about here. That'd be about where I would put it. Okay. Our next one is 8 and 96. Well, those are right on the numbers, so we can plot that one very easily. And our next one is 10 to 120. Again, that's an easy one because they both fall on the line. What did this graph do? How did we plot it? It was a vertical, it was a line that went up. It's an increasing. Okay? So we are able to write that on what we did. Now, your next thing on here is your check-in. Okay? And maybe we can... How do you represent real-world problems involving ratios and rates with tables and graphs? What would we do to represent real-world problems involving ratio, rates, and tables and graphs? Well, you find your equivalent rates and ratios, and you make a table. That's this right here. You make your table with your numbers. Which one is your y? Which one is your x? Remember x, y. Okay. And so what are we doing with that? Well, we use the table to make ordered pairs. And that is something that each one of these is an ordered pair. So we had 60, we had 96, and we had 10. What is the ordered pair? The ordered pair is 5, 6. Ordered pairs are always written like this. 5 first, and then 6. Okay? So we have our 5 and our 6s. Boxes, candles. Boxes, candles. You always have always have the comma in between them. Our next one is 8, comma 96. The first number is the one that always goes on your x's. So you want to make sure if you're making this that you're labeling it correctly. You wouldn't put candles and then boxes, right? Because we've already got it labeled. Boxes first, that's your first number. Candles second, that's your second number. Those are considered to be ordered pairs. Okay, we're going to get more into ordered pairs and how they work. Right now, what you want to concentrate on is the ratios, finding those ratios. And we've been doing that with all of them. Hopefully, you were able to see how I did that without it causing you too much issue. All right, go back up. Width, length, same thing, grafting our relationship. So each one would be ordered pairs. In this particular case, we had 2, 4. So the ordered pair would have been 2, 4. That's the ordered pair. We wrote it ratio 2, 4. The other way we can write it, 2, 4. I prefer this for ratio and this for ordered pairs. It just makes better sense to me. But it's whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. Okay. I hope that you found this useful. And we will be talking more as we go through Module 7. Good luck. Call me if you need me.